Hello there, Reject Nation. Are you comfortable? I'm Greg Alba. This is
Kacey Spivey.
Kacey Spivey has returned to the Real Rejects channel. You should go check out her YouTube channel.
YouTube.com/Blonde Jokes the series.
Yes.
On Instagram, it's The Blonde Jokes.
Some hilarious sketches if you want to look at good-looking girls being funny, which people think is impossible. Especially this guy, but they pulled it off.
You sure do.
You saw Joker, right?
Yeah.
Put you in a great mood, didn't it?
I was crying for 3 hours, so it's fine.
Wow, and the movie's only 2 hours. There's this Watch Mojo video that got sent to us that I was like, this sounds like an interesting debate here.
Okay.
It's called Best Joker, Heath Ledger versus Joaquin Phoenix. Now, I have some opinions, as I'm sure you have.
Yeah.
Opinions too.
Yeah.
We will reveal said opinions once reaction is over and discuss based off whatever. You know what? I'm wasting too much time. Let's just watch this.
2 incredible actors, 1 role. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and in this installment of Versus, we're pitting the late great Heath Ledger against living legend Joaquin Phoenix to see who gave us the superior big screen incarnation
we'll
of
see.
iconic Batman villain, the Joker.
Joke to you?
Come along as we evaluate a wide range of categories to determine which interpretation of the Clown Prince of Crime reigns supreme.
I'm gonna make this pencil disappear. It's
Match gone.
Round 1, costume and makeup.
This is okay. All right.
There
Interesting.
are a lot of contributing factors that go into making the Joker such a timeless
my
bad guy and enduring pop culture figure. But there's no denying that his trademark look ranks pretty highly on that list.
Sure.
For his 2019 take on the character, director Todd Phillips borrowed some elements directly from the comics, while also taking a few notable liberties. Phoenix sports Joker's trademark purple suit, complete with the orange-yellow vest and blue-green accents. It's perfect. For Joker's face, however, the clown makeup is a pretty major departure from the source material, going for a more classic clown look, including blue triangles around the eyes and a red nose.
When you bring me out, can you introduce me as Joker?
In adapting the Joker for his grounded and gritty take on the Batman mythology, director Christopher Nolan arguably took even greater liberties with Joker's aesthetic.
good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Purple is still the character's go-to color, but the coat is longer, more of a purple overcoat than a traditional suit jacket or tailcoat. In the comics, the Joker's face is permanently white, but Ledger's version of the character is clearly wearing makeup, which visibly smudges throughout the film.
I love that.
Perhaps most notable, however, is the addition of Glasgow's smile scars, which he accentuates with red makeup to create his twisted smile.
Sticks the blade in my mouth. Let's put a smile on that face.
Neither of these takes on the Joker's aesthetic feels quite as comic accurate as Jack Nicholson's, and that's okay.
Daddy's going to make some art.
So Jack Nicholson's
We
the
love
winner.
Joaquin's Joker suit, which seems like a better fit than Ledger's overcoat. But when it comes to deviations from the source material, Ledger's seem more effective, the scars in particular feeling like a better choice than Phoenix's traditional clown makeup. Ledger takes round 1. Winner, Ledger.
Okay.
Now I'm always smiling.
Round 2, laugh. Comics might be a soundless medium, but even on the page, Joker's laugh feels distinct, a key part of his perverse identity. Now, it's safe to say that Joaquin Phoenix has clearly put his own spin on the Joker's laugh. It's an open-mouthed, full-body laugh, one that seemingly comes out of nowhere, going from 0 to 100, and sometimes stopping as abruptly
I would
as
give
it
Joaquin Phoenix this point
Yeah.
because of
Yeah,
how
yeah.
integral it is to the character.
Though it might start off low, it often rises to become quite high-pitched, which is when it's most unnerving. When Arthur is particularly uncomfortable, however, it's high-pitched right from the get-go. And that's arguably the most interesting aspect of this interpretation of the laugh. It's actually a nervous tic that predates Arthur's Joker identity.
Yeah.
Before Phoenix, Ledger similarly plays on Joker's signature laugh. What's most intriguing about his particular take on it is that the character seems so self-aware of his laughter. He twists the laugh and changes it depending on the situation. Sometimes it's low and ominous, other times it's a high-pitched rasp. When he walks into the crime boss meeting to perform his pencil trick, he even fake laughs, which is something the Joker isn't particularly known for. But that's what makes Ledger's laugh so distinct. He's not just a madman who loves to laugh. He's a madman who wields his laugh like a weapon, a tool to scare and unnerve others. When most people imagine the Joker's laugh, it's Mark Hamill's animated iteration that comes to mind.
So Mark Hamill.
Both Phoenix and Ledger's laughs are a major departure from this, and each manages to accomplish something totally unique with it.
True.
But by giving the laugh a psychological foundation and upping the creepy factor, Phoenix takes the round.
Yeah.
Winner,
totally.
Phoenix.
Clearly.
When I was a little boy and told people I was going to be a comedian, everyone laughed at me. Well, no one's laughing now.
Round 3.
Ah!
Schemes.
It is like Portrait of Kacey.
Honestly.
Villain. There are a number of aspects of your identity that you need to get just right. From your name and your aesthetic to your particular criminal niche. The
Schemes?
Joker, even more so than most supervillains, is known for his elaborate, larger-than-life and needlessly convoluted plots. Now, we don't want to spoil
Heath
anything
Ledger
for you,
has
so
the
we won't get into
schemes.
specifics.
Yeah.
But Joaquin Phoenix's Joker is more a force of nature and symbol than an elaborate schemer.
Yeah.
For those looking to see Joker, criminal mastermind in the comic book sense,
not this
with
guy.
for cartoonish ploys, well, Phoenix ain't playing that kind of clown.
Such a beautiful scene.
I didn't know if I even really existed. But I do.
Heath Ledger's take on the character was undeniably
Okay,
a
you're
major
nodding your
departure
head.
from his comic book counterpart, and this equally
You matter
applies to
now, Arthur.
It's simple.
His version wasn't interested in clown-themed plots, smiley faces, or poison laughing gas. But for all the colorful theatrics Nolan stripped away from the character, his preference for cruel games nonetheless felt very true to the character.
Do I really look like a guy with a plan? You know what I am? I'm a dog chasing cars. I wouldn't know what to do with one if I caught it. You know, I just do things.
Throughout the film, Joker sets up multiple scenarios
love
that
it.
were done
That's
his
so
comic book
much.
counterpart's proud, from the fairy experiment to his double kidnapping of Rachel and Dent.
Your friend, the district attorney, always brushing by the beat.
His deadly shenanigans, like the opening bank robbery,
Hell
represent
yeah.
exactly the sort of planning we expect from the Clown Prince of Crime.
What happened to the rest of the guys?
Costume and makeup aside, neither Ledger
Improv.
nor Phoenix's Joker seems
Yeah.
to have embraced
Yeah.
the character's more carnivalesque side. But between the two, Ledger's Joker definitely
So
showcases
beautiful.
a greater aptitude for comic book-worthy schemes, whereas Phoenix's Joker is on more of a personal criminal journey. Winner, Ledger. Round 4, Psychology and Motivations. As Arthur Fleck and
This one.
eventually the Joker, Joaquin
Yeah.
Phoenix is
Yeah, you
Joaquin.
kind of just hear the
This
category
guy
and you go,
wanted to be with serious
well,
mental health
yeah.
issues. More than
Character
just
development.
Mm,
Maybe the movie about it.
Detaching from societal standards
Seriously.
and norms, he allows insanity to become his muse, guiding him on a path of violence and willful chaos. Of course, he's also got some specific bones to pick, particularly with Thomas Wayne. Phoenix fully inhabits this role, and by dialing the crazy up to 11, delivers an awe-inspiring performance, making this character, no matter how sick, feel fully fleshed out.
My mother always tells me to smile and put on a happy face.
Alfred said it
I'm
best.
triggered every time.
Just want to watch the world burn.
Heath Ledger's Joker, like his comic book counterpart, is wholly disinterested in material goods or wealth. He is an agent of chaos, pure
Yeah.
and simple. To him, order is a construct, or rather an illusion, and he wants to prove that the world is in fact every bit as crazy and unpredictable as he is.
You remind me of my father. I hated my father.
In many ways, he sees himself as the hero, an emissary for a harsh, nihilistic truth in a society obsessed with imposing order. The thing is, though he can be erratic, he's also quite lucid, which is just what makes his motivations so terrifying. Heath Ledger undeniably took the Joker to unprecedented cinematic heights by really making his psychology one that we wanted to dissect and analyze. But Batman remains the central figure, whereas 2019's Joker is a character study dedicated to Arthur's twisted mind, which Phoenix does a masterful job bringing to life.
Oh, okay.
What?
What?
Starting to notice.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
The fifth category.
You
Who has more
can
screen
follow
time?
Yeah.
videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Wow, you are really guiding us.
Yeah.
Round 5. Voice.
I used to think that
I mean,
life was a trash.
he doesn't really change
Now,
his voice,
some might
right?
argue that it's redundant to compare voices, considering we already talked about Phoenix and Ledger's respective laughs. But the Joker's voice and laugh are two very different beasts, each playing a big part in his
I
identity.
might give it to
Many
Heath, but
actors have given voice
Well,
to the
Heath
Joker
is
over
doing
the
a
years,
voice.
but no one has ever gone in quite such a unique direction as Phoenix.
You don't listen, do you?
I mean, he's
like
doing
super soft.
He's
he,
doing-
he has much more like
He
range.
makes the
He's doing
Joker
a
come
cadence
across
and
as quiet
tone.
and
Yeah.
soft-spoken, speaking in a polite
Yeah.
and delicate manner
Yeah.
that's somehow scarier than the typical villain snarl. It's a real testament to the concept of less is more. That being said,
So
some
beautiful.
fans
Look
might
at that.
be thrown by just how significant
my
of a
God.
departure it is from the conventional Joker voice.
All I have are negative thoughts.
Oh,
When Heath
same.
Ledger voiced Joker, he went for something a bit more villain-centric, but he nonetheless managed to make it feel distinct from Joker's past and future. While playing the role, Heath Ledger is constantly manipulating his voice. Much like every aspect of his character, especially his backstory,
Oh, yeah.
Joker's voice is hard to pin down. Sometimes it's low and gravelly.
Why so serious?
Sometimes it's quiet, almost empathetic.
I don't want there to be any hard feelings between us, Harvey.
But it can also explode into a violent, almost animalistic
It's
role.
like so funny though.
Yeah.
Regardless of his tone, inflection, pitch, or volume, Ledger maintains a maniacal edge, one that makes you hang onto his every word.
You see, in their last moments, people show you who they really are.
This was a tough one. As compelling, unique, and unnerving as Joaquin Phoenix's Joker voice was, it didn't always feel like Joker. Ledger, by contrast, went with a voice that, while definitely different from Joker's past, felt wild, expressive, and dynamic. 3 words that epitomize the character. And so he takes the final round, and with that, the competition.
No.
And it sure was close. And Phoenix's performance deserves immense praise. Winner, Ledger.
I think you and I are
That's
destined
it.
to do this.
Joaquin Phoenix's Joker officially sucks now, guys. I've decided. It's either or. You can't have both. And you can't appreciate the
You
differences.
could have made him tie.
No, that would have been a cop-out, Kacey. Well, I kind of I love your
My-
posture right now.
I'm just completely out of focus.
I don't know about this Swatch Mojo.
Well,
This Swatch
see
Mojo kind
ya.
of trust man low. But I've never really wanted to be in the position to compare these two Jokers.
Yeah.
Because they're so different. One feels like they are really borrowing from the comics. And another one feels like a character study where they kind of had the backdrop of Joker to it. The Joaquin Phoenix one could have been
any character.
could have been a number of things.
A
but
normal person.
just swap out like Joker, swap out Thomas Wade, and you kind of have its own thing, you know? So it's like comparing apples and origins. Apples
and orange or
and orchards? Yeah. No, like,
Apples and
apples
origins.
and origins.
Well, apples and origins.
They're so different. They both have such different effects. I think in terms of representing Joker from the comics, I would absolutely like easily give it to Heath Ledger because of the body language, the mannerisms, the fact that he's a criminal mastermind, psychotic and funny. There's a whole different layer of appreciation for, if we're talking just cinema, Joaquin Phoenix totally gives the emotional tour de force performance.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's not to minimize Heath Ledger's though, because he's amazing. Still my personal favorite Joker, but it's weird to compare the Jokers for me, you know?
Well, they're acting with completely different goals in mind. In Heath's, he's the villain of the story. In Joaquin's, he's the hero of the story.
Yeah.
So they're actually apples and oranges.
Yeah, exactly,
Even
right?
more so because
Yeah.
it's like, I loved Joaquin so much, but it's also a completely different movie. It's the Joker as the main character and hero, and it was like devastating to see it through that lens. But in the traditional comics, he is the villain. So you're right about it.
Yeah.
Hitting the same note with Heath as originally intended.
The Killing Joke, which is known to be the main origin source of Joker, there are things in Joaquin's Joker portrayal that are definitely like the stand-up comedy background experience and such. But that's really about it.
Really?
I mean, the Killing Joke, he has like a wife and a kid on the way. Like he's got all these other things going on, and he's getting involved with criminals. There's some things that remind me of the Killing Joke. If you're just talking comics accuracy, if you're talking like they pretty much said it here. Joker in Batman's is criminal mastermind, and Joaquin's it's just dude with a major mental illness who's wronged by society and goes on a total psychopathic journey.
Right.
But there's nothing about him that really feels like he evolves into criminal math. He evolves into cult. I mean, spoilers.
Spoiler alert.
He evolves into cult leader, but he doesn't evolve into like the dude who I could see taking on Batman. I could see him taking on little Bruce Wayne.
Do you think that this movie would have been the same if they had Heath be the hero of the story back in the day? I kind of think that based on what we've gone through as a culture recently in the past 10 years,
Yes.
this was so potent, political in a way that I don't think that we would have been as sensitive to 10 years ago.
Sure.
And it was definitely like a message about maybe how some people who come off as evil get that way and
Yeah.
how many people failed them along the way. It was a very strong take on that.
Yeah, in some ways, it's like a PSA for mental illness awareness, and also in a lot of ways of how we do go about treating people. When I saw the movie, there were these 3 dudes behind us who just totally reminded everyone I was with of the 3 dudes in the movie on the subway who were just laughing hysterically at super depressing moments of a dude accurately portraying these really harsh things he's going through. Things that are just not funny, but they're like laughing. I hear them going like, what a freaking weirdo, what a freak.
The thing that made me cry throughout it is that I think there's some people who have never had an experience like that, who have never not had health care and broken their foot and couldn't go see a doctor, not speaking from experience, like, you know what I mean, or been super behind on their water bill and it just keeps dragging you down and down and down and down. Like, there are so many people who have lived that reality that know what it's like to have something that you really need taken away because it's not funded anymore or whatever. There's people who will never have that experience and don't realize that that is a real thing that happens. It's hard. Like, when you're at the bottom, you just keep getting punched. It's just like, you know, that's what made me cry throughout the whole thing, is I've never seen a movie really nail that on the head.
To add to that point, and with this video, to tie it around, is that Joaquin's is relatable. You know, Heath Ledger's is so fascinating and wildly entertaining and like undeniably gripping.
Yeah.
But I don't relate with the guy. Like, he might make a few points where you're like, that's kind of an interesting point. There's nothing about him per se where I'm like, I connect with this guy.
Yeah.
You know, he's still at a distance. He's still the villain.
Yeah.
Whereas Joaquin's portrayal, I think there's what makes the character such a powerful portrait is that even without the healthcare stuff, there's so many layers to that performance that there's something that most of us can identify with.
Yeah.
That should have been one of the categories.
Yeah. Dark Knight is one of my favorite movies. I think overall, I like that movie more overall, but the performance of Joaquin gripped me in a way that the Joker in that movie, it's tough because Heath is so
There's no point in comparing them.
It's hard. There really isn't. You're right.
They're just slapped on.
Apples to oranges.
Yeah, exactly. You got it right. You said it perfectly. It's one thing to compare the Pennywise from the It miniseries and the It movie because one's a remake. They're both adapting the same thing. This is not that.
Completely different.
Yeah, it's literally like they're so like the whole thing with the voice. I thought was an interesting thing to bring up because I think when a Joker is cast, the things they're versing on, I think actually makes sense because those are the things that we tend to go, okay, what's he gonna look like? What's his voice gonna be? What's his laugh gonna be? Absolutely give it to the laugh because I love how it's so integral to the Joaquin character. But the voice, I thought it was gonna be he transformed. He has a switch and he's a totally different person. Yeah, but even when he's on the talk show, he's still talking in his regular voice. So I wouldn't even call it a Joker voice. You know?
Well, I could see Joaquin's character evolving into Heath's character.
A Heath Ledger kind of character.
Very easily.
Sure.
So, apples to origins?
Yes, ma'am. All right, guys. Which one was your favorite Joker? Which one would you pick? We're at war with each other now.
Yeah.
Subscribe to Watch Mojo if you haven't done so already. Make sure to check out Kacey's channel, Blonde Jokes. Watching girls be funny, it's a rarity.
Hey, no, it's not. And that's the point of our channel. Get out of here.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to provoke you.
Make me upset.
If you don't subscribe, she won't come back. Plain and simple. If you go check out her channel, subscribe to The Real Rejects, click that notification bell. But before we wrap this up, I'd like to give a page of the day shout out to a man named Tyler Haig. Tyler, Kacey, I don't think I've told you about this guy. He lives in Wisconsin, and he actually, for my birthday, he got me last year a PS4 Pro.
What?
Yeah. And what I did was I showed footage of him embarrassing himself at a stand-up comedy performance.
Oh, great.
And
wow, fitting.
Yeah, and
for this video.
It was just so awful at comedy. But I invited him on here and planning on doing an interview with him. We're going to live stream it. So it's going to be an exciting time.
This is so like the Joker.
What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? No. It's gonna be great.
Should maybe get some security.
I don't think that's necessary. Tyler's gonna be very happy just to be recognized here on a public live format, and maybe we'll crack some jokes at him.
That'll be super fun. I bet he'll be great.
Patron shout out complete.